Right.
Filming.
Filming, yeah, on camera, here we go. Right, so we are back at Les's workshop, and he's been busy because he's now fitted the clocks.
Yes.
Well,
and ignition
almost
switch.
fitted. You're not quite there yet, are they?
I'm just waiting for some spacers now that Jeff's
because
making.
they're bolted to the underside of
Yeah.
the. You can't see there,
The
but
bolt that holds the handlebar risers
Yes, which
also holds a plate,
right.
but there's a spacer needed,
That's missing, yes.
which Jeff's now, as we speak, he's finished them. I think he's going to drop them off on the next few days.
Yeah, and you also said you had to. You can't see. It's difficult to show you.
It is difficult to see because
There's a little hollow you've machined out on this
I've
bracket.
had to design and cut a slot in the plate to mount the ignition switch.
Yeah.
I can't get it any higher because of the yoke, but I've managed to get the ignition switch in. But I've had to form a gap here and put a slot in the bracket so that the clutch cable can come through. Because it's a standard cable and I'd need a longer cable if I routed it a different way.
Okay, and you've now you just fitted this plenum chamber for the first and last, well, for the last time rather.
Yeah, there was I've had to design and make out some rubber hoses, a breather, which is here.
Down here, which goes,
I've done that this morning. I put all the genuine clips on the throttle bodies, had the throttle bodies off, fitted a new throttle cable.
Yes.
That was £40 off eBay.
Well, it cost what it costs, doesn't it?
And I ordered it the day after Boxing Day, and it arrived yesterday.
Oh well, which is now what, the 11th or so, 11th,
Sorry,
12th?
Saturday it arrived.
Yeah. Well, it's not too bad, is it? Where's it come from? America or?
No, down south.
Okay.
But because of the weather we've had here, it's took like
forever.
10 days to get here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because the breather, although the air filter's down here, isn't it? It's down there.
Originally, yeah.
Yeah, well, you changed it now, but yeah, that's
I've run
a turbo modification.
I've run the crankcase breather does go into the air filter box, which used to be here. But if you look, I put the hose so it points at the sprocket. So any oil vapour will blow onto the
chain. Yeah, okay, it's good.
That's what I've designed it this morning.
So at the front of the engine, then we come around here. You've now got the turbo in place with that little special manifold that Jeff made for you.
Yeah, that's all in.
Yeah.
This is in the right position now for the turbo pipe.
Yeah.
Which is here.
Right.
But I found that because the turbo's lower, this pipe wants cutting here and extending by 20 mil.
Right.
That's the second pipe that drew the owner of the bike's bought, because the original one was damaged.
Yes.
This is a good second-hand one he's bought.
Well, I guess you can extend it and then you'll have to get it recoated.
Yeah, because you can't drop it down enough to get it up against the stop here, because the pipe hits this bracket here, this engine mount. So I've got to extend the pipe by 20 mil.
It's got to go from there, through there, and down to there.
I've also got to design a bracket to hold the turbo to the crankcase to carry the weight.
Yeah.
And I've also I've got to make cut this bracket off here.
Yeah.
Because now that's in the wrong place, and I've got to make another bracket to hold this actuator here.
Right.
Which is the
wastegate. Okay.
So there's lots to do.
And then, of course, the exhaust side of things, is that just going to be a short pipe?
Yeah, well, the exhaust is here somewhere. This is the original.
Come round here.
That was on the chopper.
Okay, that looks a bit...
Proper bodge.
Yeah.
Obviously, that just
bolts to that turbo, doesn't it?
It used to bolt on the turbo was in that sort of position before.
Yeah.
Now it's this, so that could be cut off and a different pipe welded onto this plate.
Absolutely.
Or complete new plate.
Yeah. Right, so here we go. Things are happening. Anything happening at the back of the bike?
Not yet.
Really. No.
I'm trying to get the clocks on.
Yeah.
And then all the electrical bits and bobs.
Yes.
Position all the electrics where they've got to go.
Yeah.
Then I've got to run the wiring loom along the frame
and work out,
where to put the loom, where to put all this wiring from the ignition switch, whether it'll go in the clocks or whether it's going to come back here. Lots of things to work out.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll come back in a week or so and see how you're getting on, and hopefully the bars will be on. All the hand controls will be on.
I've had to take them off temporarily while I'm
playing with that.
I've got to tighten up these bolts here for the clock bracket.
That's right.
So the bars are just nestled here for the moment.
Okay, nice and safe.
Nice and safe, yeah.
Right, okie doke. So we'll come back next week and we'll see how you're getting on.
Okay.
Good stuff. Right, okay, here we are back in Les's garage. It's been about a week or so. And it's been slow progress, which is great. You got the handlebars back on.
Yeah.
And you've fitted the wiring loom, I think. Or at least you fitted...
Temporarily, the wiring loom on the bike.
Yeah.
Just to see where all the components have got to be and the loom's right.
Yeah, and I believe you said on the phone you've had a problem with the speedo cable. was causing you a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Let's come round here. So what was that all about?
Well, when the clocks were fitted,
Yeah. I mean, they've been removed now, of course. But...
the outlet for the speedo was right in line with one of the headlight bowls.
Right.
And I seem to remember in the past you could get a speedo cable with a 45-degree angle fitting on.
Yes.
So I had a word with a mate of mine, and he said he had a cable like that, and but it was too long.
Oh, okay.
So I ended up light bulb moment. I'll just drill the top of the headlight bulb.
Okay.
Run the cable through the bowl, put a grommet in the top of the headlight bulb, and then run the cable out the hole.
That's already in there. That's good. Yeah.
And when it's on the bike,
looks good.
You can't see it.
Yeah. Pity we can't see it today because you've now removed them.
I've removed everything.
Yeah.
I'm just.
As you can see.
I'm just using washers to temporarily mount the ignition switch in the right place.
Yeah.
And then I've got to
see there.
Yeah, I've got to make some spacers.
Get it just right.
So I've got it in the right place. I just need to take that apart, and measure the length of that washer stack.
Yeah.
And
which is right there.
Yeah, and then obviously the ignition switch needs painting.
Yeah.
Because you can see it from the front of the bike between the headlights.
Yeah. Okay.
And also the wiring
here.
needs tidying up.
Yeah, you've got
which
all your
is
little.
off the switch at the moment.
Right. Okay.
So there's all that to do. So that's all ongoing. So yeah, I fitted the sump.
Okay. Oh,
At long last day, I found a replica gasket, turbo sump gasket from America. Okay. That arrived last week, and I finally fit the sump.
Yeah.
It now means I can start to plumb in all the feed pipe, oil feed pipe, and return drain from the turbo. And I found there's bits and pieces missing.
Oh dear.
Which I presume was the same company who built the original engine.
I'd lost it.
Had lost it. They'd lost the sump, which is that piece there you can see on the left.
Yeah.
That little sump. It's like a separate sump.
Yes. A mini sub.
And also on the front of the sump here, behind the turbo, there's two outlets for the oil cooler.
Yeah, I see that.
And next to it, there's a big threaded hole.
Yeah, I can see that as well.
There's a fitting goes in that hole for the oil drain.
And it's missing.
Yeah. But luckily, when I spoke to Kawasaki yesterday, Z-Power, it's still available.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I've ordered it.
That's
so that's a relief.
Yeah, you have to make one.
I had a list of about 10 things, and there was about, I think 2 of them were unavailable.
Okay, that's good.
One being an O-ring seal for that sump.
Right. Oh, the big thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to probably buy
thing down there.
The right length, the right gauge rubber, and
make one.
Make one up. Yeah. So there's that to do before that needs painting and before it goes on. So I've just been chipping away.
You said you've now sorted out the. Is it
the
turbo.
When we fitted.
Look around.
Jeff made that adapter and we fitted the turbo to the bike. Now the turbo's fitted.
Come round here, we'll see.
Better than this side.
Yeah, I'll come round here.
Now the turbo's fitted.
This is the pipe here.
Yeah, I had the aluminium housing, compressor housing on.
Yeah.
And I found that the pipe was about 20 millimetres too short. So if you look there, you can see where it needs painting.
Here.
The pipe's been extended.
Oh, right.
I had a second pipe, and Jeff has cut.
This here?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's been extended down 20 millimetres.
Right, so it now matches up.
So it now all matches.
That's
so
good.
I fitted it all. Everything looked great.
Yeah.
And now we took the housing off again because it needs an aluminium part. The casting needs cutting off.
Right.
And also needs a bracket designing to hold the
whole thing to the engine.
Wastegate actuator. Also, we need to make a bracket to hold the turbo to the crankcase.
Yes, of course,
to support the weight of it.
Chain guard on.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm about to say. Managed to buy the mounting bracket from Kawasaki, which mounts to the bottom shocker
this thing
mount.
here, yeah. I believe I've got one somewhere, but I can't find it.
Yeah, but you'll need that for yours.
Probably, but
so I bought.
Don't know where it is.
It was only about £8.60 or something for the bracket.
That's not bad, yeah.
And then I found a company in Germany that did the chain guard.
Right, it's a nice chain guard. Very plain.
With it being a ZRX 1200 back end, we didn't want a chain guard with the ZRX logo.
No.
You know, cut out into it.
Oh, it's quite like that.
So we managed to find out that they did one no graphics on it, no labelling.
Just some holes.
Well, actually, it's not a label. It's actually cut into the
into
the chain guard.
Yeah.
So that's just a plain stainless
So-
chain guard, and it's powder coated black. The next stage now, what you've not seen since I last saw you, I've fitted the fuel tank
Yes.
to work out the position of the return from the fuel injection system,
Yes.
from the fuel pressure regulator.
Yeah.
But we've also found out through Jonathan, who's built one of these bikes, that the fuel tap is in the wrong position.
Yeah.
When I fitted the tank, the outlet for the fuel tap,
Is
right below it is the fuel rail.
this is this thing here?
Yeah. So I've temporarily fitted the injectors and the fuel rail on.
Right there.
So I can work out where I need to position
Yes.
the...
So you've got to move it forward, have you, or backwards?
So yeah, I'll have to blank off the original outlet,
Yeah.
and then
Make a new one.
Make another stub
Yeah.
for a fuel, probably a high flow fuel tap.
Yeah.
Because obviously this is going to demand fuel.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You don't want to use an original fuel
Good old
tap.
Pingle's what you want, Pingle.
You want a big bore
Yeah.
fuel tap to
Yeah.
supply the fuel.
Yeah.
So I'll probably research a fuel tap that'll flow, and then make a Boss, or if it comes one, even better, and then I can get it welded into the tank. The next thing we need to do is to put brake lines, front brake lines on it,
Yeah.
and get the brake bled. Because when I wheel it off this ramp,
You want to be able to stop
I
it?
need to hold the brake.
Yeah, we need some help for that.
And then-
Don't do it on your own, we'll have some extra hands for
Once
that.
we've got it off the ramp,
You can see what's going on.
Drew, the owner, can sit on the bike,
Yeah.
and then we can position
Where he wants his...
where he wants his feet,
Yeah.
because we've got to make some rear sets to mount off these lugs
Yeah.
that Jeff put on.
Yeah,
So that'll happen as soon as the weather improves. We can get it next door into the.
yeah. A bit more space.
It's freezing cold in there.
Yeah,
it's not
don't be in
heated.
there. No.
So I don't want to put the bike in there until the weather's a bit milder.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with where all the connections are on the loom.
Right, so it can now be removed.
So the loom can now be removed and checked and
Improved.
retaped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right, deep breath. There you go.
Yeah.
So we'll come back whenever.
there. We're getting there
We'll come back in a few weeks' time, and hopefully, perhaps we might see it all together,
Yeah.
and maybe
Well-
even off this lift. That'd be cool to see it on the ground at last.
Well, it will be. It'll be next door when the
when the weather's
we're at the end of January now.
by March we should be getting a bit warmer.
Yeah, normally by March it'll be next door,
Yeah.
so I can work on it
Yep.
on the ground.
All right. Cool.
All the work underneath is virtually done now.
Yeah.
You know, on the sump area, and the turbo. Obviously, all that work's going to be done over the next few weeks, and then obviously I can sit it on a stand next door and work on all the stuff higher up.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Then there'll be a space in here. Then there'll be spare space.
Yeah. Well, I've got a KH250 over
Oh
there.
yeah. Don't mention the cage. Yeah, he's got a frame over here. He likes two strokes. I don't like two strokes, but
I like me
I know you do,
250s.
but I don't. So there's an immaculate frame.
It's all been on the
checked
jig.
over, jigged,
all been-
powder coated,
Yeah, it's all done.
and the rest of it is in boxes and bits and down here somewhere.
Yeah,
James
swinging arms down there somewhere.
Yeah. So that's another future project. Probably when that's finished, and also when the RD's
Yeah, there's
no longer here.
all the boxes under there, a KH250, and then there's a tank.
Yeah.
You know,
Down
so
there somewhere.
I've got the standard exhaust. I've got a 3-into-1 for it,
Okay.
so I can decide which way I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I've bought some aluminium rims to put on the
wheels,
hubs.
Yeah. And I think I gave you them shocks, didn't I?
Yeah, I've got two. Actually,
They
got
were
two
spare.
pairs somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all my parts book and workshop manual and
Yeah.
an original manual, Haynes manual, and that's a parts book.
Yeah, very
Invaluable
important.
when you're doing a restoration.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's for a future day.
Yeah.
So in the meantime,
Yeah.
I think we'll call it quits.
Too many
'cause-
bikes and not enough time.
Yeah. And not enough money. Yeah.
Well,
Money and time and
it's
space.
money at the moment with me being ill.
Yeah.
you know.
For me, it's time and space
Yeah.
rather than money. Anyway, on that note, we'll end it here. It's been quite a long video,
It
longer
has.
than I thought, but
It has.
that's okay. And we'll catch up in a few weeks' time.
Okay. See you then.
Yep.